Well, Bam's gonna be here in a little bit.
He's gonna be late. Is that what you're trying to
say? So, what is up, guys and gals? Welcome to the Quest Podcast. I am your host, Dark Optimus, and it is going to be a fun show tonight. We got not just one, but we got two very special guests on tonight. Our other special guest, he's going to come in later.
About
a half hour later.
Yo, let's just be honest, man. You're talking about my split personality here. We got Xbot 448.
We got Ponybot 448, and then we got Xbot 448.
Xbot 448 and King Neutral. That's what's going on. Two special guests.
Well, if you guys don't know, one of our special guests is King Neutral himself, or at least that's what he likes to call himself. I usually like to call him Ponybot 875367889. It is Xbot 448. What's up, bro?
What's going on, people? And I am back on the Quest Podcast, guys. Thank you again for reaching out to me. I love getting in here. I love talking with most of you guys. I don't know who I might be singling out here. Yo, Baines, man, as always, it's an absolute pleasure to come in here and talk games with you. And
same here, man.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yo, Dark, man, my bad. You're my brother, yo. No, don't worry about it.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. You got to show love to Baines. You know, he doesn't get much love.
Dark, I do want to say something. You call me Sinead O'Ponybot. Yo, you are the reason why my hair is long right now. I don't dare shave my head now because you started that shit, man.
Because I started that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta grow it out, man.
Yeah, I kind of like I got like a back fro, man. My hair is like racing away from my face for some reason. So I got like these Italian curls in the back.
It's like a mullet, but not really. It's a fro in the back, but a business in the front.
There's no business. Out of business in the front is what's going on.
It's out of business. Yeah. Dang. All right. Yeah. Well, if you guys don't know, Remix is not here tonight. He is doing some stuff for college and stuff because he's getting ready for that.
Yeah, I wrapped him in duct tape and put him in my trunk.
Yes, you did. But we have one of our panel members on here tonight, and that is Sir M. Baines. What is up, Baines?
Nothing much. Same old. Ready to get the show going. Let's go.
Definitely. So, starting out, you guys all know we like to start out with what have we been playing this week, and Bot, we're gonna start with you. What have you been playing?
Oh, damn, man, I'm on the spot like that. Yo, I am. I'm actually disappointed that Remix isn't here because like I've been playing like a bunch of smaller titles, indie titles, and stuff like that, and I know that's right down his alley, man. But me and O Snaps, you know, my better half, we were playing a game called Human Fall Flat. It's kind of like it's a puzzle game, but your little character, right? It reminds me of a game that's coming to PS4 called Gang Beasts. Damn, is there a Sports Center update going on right now? I'm saying Iverson coming out of retirement. No, just playing.
Oh, dang!
That game is incredibly fun. Just today, I played State of Decay for the first time. Never played it before throughout its 360 life, throughout
dang.
This generation. I just heard that the game was really glitchy, and it kind of kept me away from it. I hate when games are incredibly like glitchy. I think you've heard me like go off on Friday the 13th at points in time.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I fucking hate that, man. And so I stayed away from it. But me and O Snaps, we actually went in on a survival challenge where we were on Mixer and we were co-streaming, and whoever died first lost. But it was a lot of fun. Like I had a lot of fun. Man, I was sneaking around in the bushes. I was like, yo, the stealth in that game, man, it had me hyped, man. When I was able to get around a horde of zombies and didn't get detected once or anything like that, I had a lot of fun with that. Halo 5, of course, I've been playing that. I got to get ready for my contest tomorrow, where it's Team Xbot versus Team Next Gen 720. And, oh yeah, man! I told him pick 3 people. I'm gonna pick 3 people. I believe we're gonna stream this on Mixer as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, dude, we going in. Let's see what else, man. like I said, a lot of small Abzu. I've been playing Abzu on.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Dude, that game is like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I used to want to be a marine biologist, like growing up as a kid. So I went above and beyond, like doing research on sharks. Sharks are my absolute favorite animals, and dude, the way they kind of built up the underwater world and stuff like that. That game is absolutely amazing. I have a blast playing it. God of War 3 remastered. Should I keep going, guys? Like,
keep going, man.
I mean, you got more games that you've been playing, man. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think, man. You know what? I'll cut it off there, because if I can't think of it now off the top of my head, then it probably wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Baines, what have you been playing, bro?
Actually, all week I've been playing Nier Automata, and I just finished that today.
I feel sorry for you.
Actually, the game was great, man.
The first Nier was trash, man.
This was really good, and then I started Until Dawn today. So I've heard a lot of good things about that. So far, it's got me. So we'll see.
Yo, guys. Well, first of all, I gotta really get over here on YouTube, because I was waiting for you guys to share the link out on Twitter, and you're not doing it, man.
You're gonna call us out right on a podcast? Wow.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Anything goes. But yo, guys.
Well, you know why? It's because it's usually Remix's job to do that, and he's not here.
Oh, well, you got to pick up the reins, man. But with Until Dawn, I've been trying to tell O Snaps, like, she gets into, like, she jumps a lot during scary movies. She likes scary movies, loves zombie movies, stuff like that. I've been telling her. She just recently, she got her green screen. She has everything straightened out with her cam for streaming. And I was like, yo, you got to stream this game. We gotta, Baines, Optimus, I don't know, hit her up on Twitter, at Girls Can Game 22. Let her know that she has to stream this game, because this will be priceless stream. But my bad, Baines, go ahead. Yeah.
No, those are the only two I've been playing. Like I said, I just started Until Dawn today, because I just finished Nier Automata today. So it was. I mean, Nier Automata is, if you're interested in the game at all, I would say pick it up. It's a really, really good game.
I just got to ask you, man, I can't get past this. Why does it look like somebody peed on the screen when you play that game? Like, everything's tinted yellow.
Well, no, it's not like that when you play the game. I mean, it's actually, the graphics are really nice too. I mean, it's really, really good. They did, because I think it's running 1080p 60 on the Pro, if I'm not mistaken. But it's everything. I mean, it has hitches here and there, but the game looks really good. And I'm telling you, I put 30 hours in the game, so I had to sit here and look at it for 30 hours. So, I mean, it's it's a really they did a really good job with the game graphically. The storyline is cool.
See, I'd rather play Neo. Like, Neo has my interest more than Nier does.
No, I think you'll find out that you'll probably like Nier better than Neo. But yeah, man, they did a really good, and it kind of fools you too, because you go through it the first time, you think you're done, but no, it opens up more, and then you go through it again, and it opens up even more. So I read something about this developer too. He was kind of, I forget his name, but he's kind of wonky. Like, he did some weird stuff with the first Nier also. But this one right here, man, it's a good game. I suggest anybody that's even thinking about it, if you're on the fence, pick it up. I mean, you won't be let down. It's a really good game.
Baines, I respect you as a gamer, and as a person, man. I'm like one of your biggest fans. You know this. I've said this, multiple times being on this show. And since you're saying this, I will give this game a second chance, man.
Give it a second look, man.
I will, man.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy Nier more than Neo.
Nah, see, I don't. You might be talking sideways when you're saying that. Like, I don't know, man. Neo just automatically, I'm more pulled to that. But because you're saying this, Baines,
give it a shot, man.
I'll give it a shot. All right.
Yeah, do that. But like I said,
I was just gonna say, can I just shout out Dirty J in the chat right now? Because
shout out to Dirty J.
He was, first of all, shout out to him, man. He's a huge supporter of all these podcasts out here, and there are a ton throughout the week. But Yo, he tried to get me triggered. Did you see that in the chat?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Yo, man, Forza Motorsport is niche. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Oh, here we go.
It's because the last time you were on, I told
It's
you
an
it was a niche
international game.
Here we go with that.
Huge shout out to O'Snap as well.
Yeah,
shout out to
definitely
O'Snap.
huge shout out. Huge shout out to Blaze 4K for being in the chat, man. We appreciate it, bro. Thanks for coming out. But I got to get on to what I've been playing, and I've been playing basically games that came out in 2015 because I pretty much beat everything that I wanted to play in 2017 except for Persona 5. That game's just way too long for me. I just cannot handle it. I mean, I got enough of the gist of the game to know that like it's a good game.
Know that you are going to shower with an old man at some point in time in that game.
Get over that.
Dude, I can't. That's just nasty.
It is pretty nasty. Nasty. But I've been playing The Witcher, of course, but I've been playing the DLC stuff for The Witcher. Because I'm trying to finish that up. Just finished Hearts of Stone, and now I'm doing Blood and Wine. And then I'm also, what have I been playing? I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight. Well, finishing Batman Arkham Knight because I didn't finish it when it came out, which I should have. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, that's about it, man. I mean, I haven't really been playing much.
All right, man. All right, not for anything. Every podcast, there's a majority of them. They ask what you've been playing, man. What has been your best experience while playing these games, man? Let's get to the gamer side of this. Like, what was the one thing that happened, and what game that made you just say, "Damn!" this past week? Yeah, anything? I'm taking over tonight, guys.
I know it's bot takeover tonight.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm gonna answer this real quick because he's taking too long.
Yo, perfect, man.
for me, like I said, going back to Nier, since I've been playing it all week, it's just the way that the game, you finish the game first with the first campaign there's two protagonists, and then when you finish the first playthrough, you play the second playthrough as the second protagonist on looking from their, totally from their viewpoint, which some of it's the same, but a lot of it's different also. And then other stuff opens up in the game during that second playthrough. And then once you finish that, the game completely goes into a whole nother like realm or area, and it opens up even more. So that in and of itself, that whole experience was just great for me,
Yeah.
For me, we gotta talk more in party chats and shit, man. Like,
yeah, we need to, man.
Down to hear about what you're gaming on and game with you, man. But I guess we'll let Dark Optimus go. So go ahead.
Oh wow, okay. He's no longer allowed on the podcast. No. I have to say, The Witcher. Just seeing the DLC, the Blood and Wine. Like I started it. Like, oh my god, dude! Like, as soon as you get to that city, I forgot what it's called. Like, it'd
be funny if it's actually called
right?
That City.
Right? Yeah, right. I can't remember what it's called, but because I just started it. But damn, does that city look great? I mean, it reminds me of like an Italian type of, Renaissance type of city, and it's just like, reminds me of Italy. It's just so cool. Yeah, I think that's about the gist of what really surprised me out of the games. I mean, dude, a lot of times games don't surprise me anymore because I've seen most of everything.
Oh, man, you need to retire right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, because
go get a job as an accountant, man, and that's it. All right. Now,
yeah, you need to stop gaming.
Yo, check this out. Can I just say a couple of things that like I got kind of like, all right. First of all, human fall flat with having the puzzles and having they call it real world physics. So if you go to pick up an anvil as like one person, it's real heavy and you drag it and you hear the metal sound and all this good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yo, me and O-Snaps were playing and we got through this castle and then there's like islands of land. And we got through this castle and we swung ourselves to this island that had a windmill on it. And there was another island we had to get to. But man, I was trying to jump from the top of the windmill, you know, like where they have that walking space, kind of like a widow's walk on the top of the windmill. I couldn't do it. And I'm like, what the hell? So finally, me and O Snaps, we started having fun and we just started grabbing onto the windmill, the actual fans, and started spinning around on the windmill. Yo, come to find out, this game is crazy because with doing that, if you hold left or right while you're going for a ride on the fan on the windmill, it'll actually turn the top of the windmill to the point where if you aim it at that island and you release yourself at the top, you go flying all the way over to that island and you just kind of like hit the ground and flop. I was just like, oh,
nice.
Dude, I felt so accomplished when we actually did that. And then the other thing in Abzu, because I just started that game, the freaking great white shark in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yo, once I got my little I had like these little robot kind of like camera type things following me, and we're going through this dark tunnel, and all of a sudden you see this opening in the tunnel, and it starts getting lighter. You're like, yes, I made it. All of a sudden, this huge great white comes up and just chomps on one of your robots, like tears it up and just swims away. My jaw dropped, and I just sat there for a second, like, damn, I don't even want to go in that water now. Like,
yeah, man, people don't know about that game, man. So tell them about it. That soundtrack for that game is really good too, man.
It's very
it gets better as you go through.
Well, people, we have our other guest of the evening.
Oh, we got the royalty episode.
He is King Soundbar himself, Def Jam Bam. What is up, Bam?
What's up, Bam?
Is he here?
Hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it's on track.
he's all like, yeah, I'm here.
Everybody bow down now. Def Jam.
Bow down to Def Jam Bam. Dude, Bam, since you just got in, what have you been playing this week, bro?
Testing. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear y'all. Perfect. Shit, I've been playing a little bit of everything. Let me see. I actually been playing Mass Effect, Andromeda, Killer Instinct, Injustice, some Gears. I've been all over the place.
Cool.
I'm liking that. I'm liking that Mass Effect. It's pretty good. Minus all the
Right.
bullshit that everybody's complaining about, the little glitches and all that. I don't really care about that shit. But it's a fun game.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff you'll find out is nothing that you won't see in other games. Is people just making too much of a deal out of it, man. That game was really good, actually.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I'll
Yeah,
agree
that's
with you
fun.
on that. It's a good game. It's just I have to get back into it. maybe when the
That's
X
what happens
comes
when
out.
you got so many games out.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe when the X comes out, I might hop back into it because I know it's gonna probably get that 4K patch or whatever. Because right now on my TV it looks blurry as all fucks. So
Got the TV
yeah,
you got.
it's well, I got
Just speaking about the X, man, I hope Xbox can get near on Xbox because I'd like to see the.
I don't think
because
that's gonna happen.
No,
Honestly,
but I mean,
don't think that will
I've
I
heard
mean,
that it
anything's
may
possible.
happen. Yeah, I've heard that it may happen because it's not exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, officially, right? Okay.
So later on down the line, it could. But I was just thinking, it looked really good on the Pro. So I'm thinking it's gonna look really, really good on the, when the X comes out. So I'll be interested in just see because some of those environments were really nice.
Yeah,
X gonna give it to you.
yeah, it is, man. I'm telling you. But we got to get into these topics for the evening. Is Battlegrounds the most important shooter since COD MW? Which, if you don't know what MW stands for, you should probably get off the podcast right now because it stands for Modern Warfare. What do you guys think of this?
I don't know. At the end of the day, man, like PUBG, it looks like a cool game. All right.
Mhm.
I think I said this the last time I was on the show, man. I get concerned about these games being the norm from here on out. Like, I don't know what the story is. Like, I want some type of story to my game and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that PUBG doesn't really have that. To me, PUBG is like maybe this generation's Counter-Strike. That's what it looks like to me.
Right.
This generation's Counter-Strike. Something new but kind of like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems similar to Counter-Strike. In terms of it being like as important as Call of Duty MW or whatever. No, man. The most important FPS of all time is Halo.
Of course he's got
Ain't that a niche title? Oh,
Yeah, just like Forza
I thought that
Motorsport,
was a
right?
niche title. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
just like Forza, man.
Yeah, it's all Xbox games. We should all know that they're niche titles. Everyone.
Oh, my
play
my fan O Snaps is really getting at me in the chat. She's singing my praises right now.
But as for
She let you have it
Battlegrounds,
today. God damn.
as for Battlegrounds, for me, I honestly don't think it's probably going to be the most important game since COD Modern Warfare, because I mean that franchise alone, just those two games. I don't really consider the third one part of that little, because Infinity War was kind of done by that point. Because the first and second one were fantastic. So I mean, to kind of compare PUBG with COD is kind of wrong, because PUBG is kind of more of a third person aspect. I mean, I know they're going to add the first person mode. Well, I know you can be in first person the entire game, but they're going to have it where you can have first person only mode. And I honestly can't see it being bigger than Call of Duty at all.
Well, Dark, you hit on a good point when you said what Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That was what, Call of Duty 4?
Yeah.
All right. So not for anything, but Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3. And yes, I did my quotes there. Not for anything, but 2 and 3 did incredibly well as well. All right. So
yeah, that's true.
When it comes to Call of Duty 4, it was living off the success of the previous titles and then building on that. Where with PUBG, it's a brand new title. All right. You would rather, say it's as important as Call of Duty 1 or the first iteration of a future franchise. You see what I'm saying? You can't really compare the two, man.
Yeah, you really can't, because I mean, it's more like H1Z1 in comparison than it is, anything has to do with Call of Duty.
Yeah. I mean, this is how a lot of games get bad raps anyway, by trying to compare them to the success of something else. I think PUBG is doing well in its own right. You know what I'm saying? On PC, it's not even a full game yet. It's still an early preview game, and it's doing tremendously well. And I think it'll be really big for the Xbox One X, as the timed exclusive or whatever it is. But we'll just have to see how far the game grows. They have to keep adding content and things like that to keep the game moving. So
Snaps wants that game on Xbox so bad. Let me just let you know right now. It's like she is PUBG. She was like, I used to play Counter-Strike, and when she saw PUBG, those same feelings like built up like with her, and she ready day one for that game.
Well, that's the thing.
Me too.
I've been playing it on PC because I wanted to try it out and see what it's like. It's a fun game, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now, on the Xbox, I'd rather play it on a controller, of course, because I'm more of a controller kind of guy. I think it's going to sell very well. I think a lot of people are going to really take to it and enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, and they've already the guy.
Real fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you can watch, I watched a lot of streams, and it looks really strategic. You know what I'm saying? It does look fun. And the guy said that he's expecting it to be out of preview within 6 months. So, I think we're supposed to get it in November or sometime towards the end of the year.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely. Yep.
So not too long after we get it, it'll be a full game. So I think that's real good, man. That's a nice pace that they're going on. So if they're already going to pull it out of game preview, and then I read several articles stating that they already got another map planned, and if they keep adding content, the game can grow because it's already got a big following.
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah. So I definitely think that Snaps is gonna absolutely adore that game. She's gonna like it probably more than she does Friday the 13th. I know that's a bold statement, but I'm sticking with that.
So what? It's like 4 million users right now.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what do you think about that,
Well,
Bam? What do you think? What do you think about the it being the most important shooter since COD, MW?
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, from the numbers we've heard, 4 million, that's a lot of people to be enjoying it right now. And then plus, when the X come out, you can imagine everybody on the Xbox is going to buy it. But if they keep it fresh, keep adding content, the game will be just fine.
Definitely.
Like Division, as Mooch would say.
Oh man, don't even get the Division started. All right.
Yo, guys, I just want to Supersonic Station in the chat basically said that with the Xbox One X, he feels that more PC games are going to come to the Xbox One X now.
Oh yeah,
just a couple things on that.
Oh, absolutely,
they're going to come to the Xbox One family of devices. Now, when they started that whole Windows 10 Xbox thing where they were bringing together kind of like both communities and stuff, that was one of the reasons why. All right, they're going to have more computer games, more PC games coming over to the console side of things. And in return, they're trying to bring their exclusives over into the PC side of things. Now, the latter didn't work out so well so far. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The PC crowd is used to a certain kind of game. And unfortunately, I don't think a lot of the exclusives on Xbox side has really registered to the PC gamer over there on a PC. But that's kind of the reasons why they did all that, why they tried to bring those communities closer together and kind of fade that boundary in between it. So we are going to see a lot more of these PC titles coming over to the Xbox platform, though. It's going to come to the S. It's going to come to the original one. It's going to come to the X.
Definitely. Now, Bayonetta may be coming to the Switch. What do you guys think of that? For me,
as a 2D scroller?
Yeah, you never know. It might be. You never know, because I know people have been saying that they're unimpressed with the performance of the Switch.
At the front door.
Because
somebody
THQ Nordic was very not impressed with what the Switch can do graphics wise, because they're of course making Darksiders 3, and I think they kind of wanted to make it for the Switch so then people can have it on the go, but I don't think that's going to happen at all through them. But Bayonetta, I can see it coming, because the second one came to the Wii U. Like Bot said, it might be a 2D scroller. I hope it's not. I hope it's the full version of Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. Just so that I could probably pick it up and play that eventually. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's another game for the Switch. So as long as they're getting something. But
yeah, exactly.
Bayonetta, it just sucks that they're not getting like the big third-party games though. Too bad.
Right, exactly. That kind of
really crushed about that, Bam. You're like, too bad. Whatever.
I don't got to I feel a little bad for them,
Yeah, if you're out there and you only have a Switch, you might want to go get another console as well, just in case. Especially if you want to play some third-party titles.
Well, they'll probably wind up porting a lot of their Wii U games over little by little.
Yeah, I could see him doing that, definitely. Maybe, but I can't see him doing anything like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or anything like that.
Yeah, it don't need those though, man. Like,
you
guys are avoiding kind of like the big thing when it comes to the Nintablet, man. First of all, you said console. This thing is a handheld. It is the world's most powerful handheld, right?
Yeah.
Mario Kart
looks. It was a console.
Mario, no.
Thought it was both.
No. Listen, man. You listen to King Neutral on this. It is a handheld that you can also play on your TV. That's what it is. And for what it is on that, yo, it's nice for what it is, man. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, Mario Kart 8 is great. Snipper Clips, I had a blast playing that. Zelda looks great. Mario that's coming up looks awesome. Yo, Metroid, they didn't give us any gameplay for Metroid Prime 4, so I'm hoping that looks great. But they got titles. Splatoon 2 looks amazing. It doesn't need these third parties. You know what's going to be the backbone of the Switch in between exclusives? It's going to be
first party
indie games. No, in between first party, the backbone is going to be indie games. Every once in a while, they're going to get some third party developer that will make kind of like a I don't want to say dumbed down version, maybe a res down version, a graphically inferior version compared to like the powerhouse consoles on some third party things. But in the end, it doesn't need any of that. It's got the Japanese support to bring crazy Japanese games we ain't never heard of onto the onto the Nintendo tablet. So, you know, for people who try to dive into that, you know, they could play that. But it doesn't need the Darksiders. So, you know, the developer was only pissed off about the power of the Nintendo tablet because they wanted to make more money. All right, that was the basic reason, and they decided to fire shots at it because of that. Because like, well, now, you know, we would have to go in and we would have to like build a game from scratch for the Switch. And it's like, well, if you really want a game on there, fucking do it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Don't complain. Everybody knows about the power. You know, people who look into the tech, they know about what's underneath the hood of the Switch. We know it doesn't compare to the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, or even the Xbox One S. Like, it doesn't compare to those things. Like, we already know this. So why are you, being a developer within the gaming industry, are bitching about it in an article? It's because you don't want to make a game from scratch that can run on it, man.
Yeah. I have to kind of agree with you on that. I mean, even though THQ Nordic is making Darksiders 3, and thank God they're making another one.
Take my money now.
You know, yeah, pretty much take my money now. For them to come out and say that, it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, you guys, you know, like you said, don't want to make a game from scratch, but you could also, you know, turn down the graphics on it, you know, make it more of a, you know, watered down, you know, game if you really wanted to put it on the Switch. If you knew, because I mean, by this point, you have to have known that the Switch was going to be underpowered compared to some of these new consoles. You know, you had to have known it. I mean, you work in the fucking industry. You know these things. It's kind of boggles my mind when devs do that. It's because it's like, dude, really? Honestly, you know what's going on. You know what's going on 6 months down the road. You know what's going on, like maybe even a year from now. You know, you just know these things, and it is what it is. I mean, if they're not going to do it, then somebody else will. You know, somebody's gonna come to, you know, like look at Ubisoft. They're coming out with their game with Rabbids and Mario. You know, I mean, it's a completely different game. I mean, I'd probably pick it up just because it looks fucking cool. You know, like that game looks sick.
Yo, Dark, you talked about Ubisoft. Have you seen the thing on Twitter when they changed their logo? Somebody took like the poop emoji and then they showed it for what it would look like from a bird's eye view, and then they put the new like Ubisoft logo over it, and it fits perfectly. Every time I see that logo,
somebody had too much time on their hands.
Yo, serious. Well, dude, we are talking about the internet here, man. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen some of my buddies, some of my BGST fams, like faces on some crazy shit because people have too much time on their hands, man. So,
too much time,
But yeah, I don't know. You just said that, and that was the first. Every time I see that logo, I think of the poop emoji, but from a bird's eye.
Well, they have been a poop emoji for a little while now, over there at Ubisoft. But hopefully, I think this year they'll come back and do something really special for us with Assassin's Creed. And
no, Dark, I'm glad you said that, man, because I was the only one when I watched the E3 and they showed Assassin's Creed, right? Now, you know, there was this whole thing about 4K, all this good stuff. But when I was looking at it, besides like the backdrop, besides the scenery, like I'm looking at the people's faces. I'm like, yo, this guy's eyes look really weird. Like they're really, really white. And like I don't know, the graphics didn't like impress me as much as I see like on Twitter and people talking about it, especially like right after the conference. People are like, oh shit, Assassin's Creed is back. Like I want them to go back to like what made Assassin's Creed popular with, you know, Assassin's Creed 2, you know, Brotherhood and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just like, I don't know. I didn't see what everybody else saw, man. I didn't understand what the hype was for that. Like I thought Anthem looked a hell of a lot better. I thought Metro actually tore the show down. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. That game, oh my god.
Metro and Anthem. Oh yeah.
Yeah, both of those games looked amazing. But we're going to get into Inside Dev reveals some more about Somerville. Any thoughts on that?
Why don't you give us a little rundown on what they revealed, man?
Yes, break it down, sir. Break it down.
If you can, Baines, give us a little rundown on that.
He threw it to Baines.
Wow.
Oh! Baines is like, next subject.
Well, that was one of his topics. Huh?
No, it's from what I read from the article, it's supposed to be like a side. I guess it's going to be a side-scrolling type RPG, and it's from the indie dev that did Inside. They had a short little clip on it, and all they did was show. They showed a little bit of the world makeup. Well, it had an outside view of the world, and then they showed a little clip of, you know, I guess a portion of a level, I guess you're gonna play, and it looked pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of the, not really the art style of what's that game that they showed on the E3. It was kind of pixelated, but the background was really.
Oh, dude, I know what you're talking about. The background was highly detailed, but like everything like that you can interact with 8-bit, like
right. And it kind of reminded me the scene that they showed kind of reminded me of that, and so that's basically the game. I'm from the little bit that they showed, you know, I'm interested, but it's still early in development, so we'll have to see what happens. But we all know Inside was a really good game, so.
We know that. We know that for real.
Well, I was just assuming.
Did you play the game?
Yeah.
Bot?
Oh,
here it was a really good game.
Won't know until you played it. But here's when it comes to these developers, man, not for anything. Like I think they're getting too. I don't want to get built up with a game. I don't want to get built up with a game to have an ending be like, what the hell just happened? Like what really?
Oh.
Well, they're known for that, you know. They did.
Yeah, you can't kill the whole game because of the
romance over though. They came out with 2 titles that kind of did that, right?
Yeah.
Is romance over yet? Because like if they're gonna ride that pony in, eventually that thing's gonna it's gonna get thirsty. It's gonna die of thirst, man. Like they're not gonna be able to ride that all the way through. So it could be interesting in terms of seeing other people play it. For me, this is my opinion, guys. My opinion, I just want to throw that out there in the chat, everything. My opinion here is I will let people play that. I will see if they talk about the ending and be like, damn, that's just like Inside, or that's just like Limbo or something like that. And then I'm going to be like, you know what? Pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to deal with that.
You know what's sad? When we live in a day and age of technology and stuff like that, we have to resort to saying, my opinion. Like, why? You know, because let's be honest here. Like, for me, you should already know it's my opinion, anyways. I'm not saying, you know, from the aspect of a dev or a you know, somebody in the inside. I'm saying it as a gamer. So, you know, for me to say, hey, you know, in my opinion, like, you should take that. We shouldn't have to clarify it. You know, we should only have to say it once and that's it. In this day and age, unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that. We have to say it like 50 goddamn times in order for somebody to get it on the internet. And then we tell them, look back at the tape. And then they look back and they're like, oh, you did say it. It's like, dude, come on.
Dark. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm just going to help you out and say this. Like, when somebody is stating a fact, you're usually stating it either off something you learned or something you physically saw, right? So you can tell the difference between a fact and an opinion. Yeah. Now, with today's social media, the internet, and everything like that, for some reason or another, the definitions get really blurred. And then all of a sudden you state a fact and somebody says, well, that's your opinion. Or you state your opinion and they get pissed off at you because they think that you're claiming it as a fact. It's just a byproduct of social media. I let that shit go. I got a bunch of fans on Twitter that love to point out the fact of when I state a fact, it's our opinion and vice versa. And I just like completely ignore them and stick with the community that sticks with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. I mean, that's all we can do. That's all we can do.
But back to inside, man. Back to inside. And just your view. I realized the end of that game was kind of abstract. I mean, because when we went through the game, you kind of had your own viewpoint of what the game was about, and then the ending kind of threw you off. But Little Nightmares, I mean, that ending was pretty decent. I mean, I don't want to spoil the ending for anybody who hadn't played it, but that ending was pretty decent. So I mean, you can't just take that one game and let it throw you off, because you know it was or the one ending and let that throw you off.
They made Little Nightmares. They made Little Nightmares as well.
It came from the same day.
All right. See, I didn't know that, man. I know I'm supposed to know absolutely everything about games. You know, being on YouTube,
nah.
like that. But unfortunately, some info slips through. A close friend of me and O Snaps, another YouTuber, Noble Addiction, and I thank O Snaps for actually, like, she's the one who discovered his channel and kind of started talking to him and brought him into the community. Great guy. He absolutely loves Little Nightmares. That's like one of his favorite games. So
yeah,
maybe they did turn the corner. Maybe they did those first two kind of like endings to kind of catch people's eye. And maybe now they're really going in and developing an ending that you can kind of, I don't know, sink your teeth into. You know, like that T-bone steak that's cooked perfectly on the grill. You just sink your teeth. Maybe they're gonna do that now. But like I said, man, I'm gonna wait and see on that. Like, I'm not gonna be the one that's like clamoring for my credit card as soon as that game releases to buy it digital.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Definitely.
I'll be a guinea pig, but because more than likely I'll be playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably pick it up if it's the same devs as, you know, Inside and Limbo. You know, I played those games and I loved them, so I'll definitely be checking that one out. Lords of the
what's the name of this indie?
What's up? Oh, Somerville.
What was the name?
Somerville.
Okay. I'm not big on indies, but I'll definitely give it a look. Check it out. But there is one indie I am interested in, but we'll get around to that topic soon enough.
Worry too.
Hey. Lords of the Fallen 2 reduced and team is downsized. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to know why first. Come on, Dark Man.
Well,
why?
it seems like per the article, it seems like they were trying to be a lot more ambitious with the game versus Lords of the Fallen, the first one, and then I guess later on down the line they just figured that wasn't really going to work. As also seeing as how, you know, we all know the Sniper Ghost Warriors devs came out earlier and basically said, yeah, our game is trash. We tried to go for a big open world when we probably should have kept it linear, basically is what they were saying. So I guess along the same scope, these devs are you know, they're paring back the team and also paring back the game to give them more focus. Sounds like, you know, from the article.
That sounds that sounds like PR to me, though.
Yeah, that sounds like
it could be, but I mean, as far as the article, also the game is still coming, you know. So we'll see.
But to reduce the scope in order for it to go more of a linear style, you know, like they did with the first one, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, is it? I mean, it kind of, you know, makes me wonder: is it going to be exactly like the first one? And people are not going to probably gravitate towards it. Well, except for probably the Souls fans, you know, people out there that love the Souls games, will probably gravitate towards it. But for people who aren't into those kind of games, I don't know if they'll even want to try it or not. That's a big if.
Yeah, I never played Lords of the first one. I've heard some good things and some bad things about it. So
yeah,
I guess we'll have to see. I'm not really into the games that don't really give you the story while you're going through the game. You know what I'm saying? If I have to pick up some extra stuff to read deeper into the lore and get that extra meat on the bone, as Bot said, you know,
Destiny.
Get that extra meat on the bone, then I'm cool with doing that. But when I'm going through the game, I need to be familiar with the story by going through the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me look for extra information.
It's got to unfold before you, man.
Exactly. You know, and so that's why a lot of these games I'm not really drawn to them. Like I can't. I'm not interested. I know the gameplay is there, but for me, I want the story and the gameplay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I kind of shy away from a lot of these games. Not necessarily because of the difficulty, because, you know, a good story, even if the game is difficult, a good story will make you push through that difficulty. But if you don't have that story there, yeah, exactly. If you don't have that story there, then it's a miss for me.
Now we also have to talk about the team being downsized. That always sucks, you know, when somebody loses their job. I mean, yeah, granted, they're devs, so they're probably going to find something else. They always do, some way, somehow. You know, they're going to be okay. But it does suck to see that the team was downsized because of they wanted to go, and it seems like that's what they wanted to do, is go into more of a linear route with the game.
Right.
But
which is not bad. You know, we have a lot of open world games. I mean, a linear title here and there is not bad, you know.
A hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot of open world games.
Yeah. Seems like everything that comes out nowadays is open world.
That is true. Definitely.
And Lords of the Fallen, I've never played it. I believe it was a free.
It was given free.
Yeah, it was free.
How could you not even try it if it was a free game? Bam! Exposed.
Loaded it, and yeah. Gotta play something else. I was like, I'll get to this later. Never got to it.
You got it purchased though, man. So that's a start right there, brother, man.
Exactly. Speaking of open world games,
absolutely.
Hold on.
Horizons.
No. I did not get to chime in on this, man. I was waiting for Bam to come in and really, you know, put down that gaming wisdom on everybody. So I was kind of just sitting back waiting. But it's a little concerning when it comes to them kind of like cutting back the dev team, because you would figure if they're going to go back and change the game that much from more of an open world to more of a linear, you would figure that they have a lot of work to do. And if they had a lot of work to do and they really are adamant about dropping it at a certain release date, like, why would they trim back the team as well? Because that's almost like building a new game. You know what I'm saying? I know they have the assets and everything for the player and stuff, but you kind of like have to remap the game. That's not an easy task. Yeah. So it's a little concerning that they kind of let a few people go. It's like, you know what? You know, our ideas were big, but we can't do that. I'm sorry, guys. You got to get a new job. But it's like, you were like, but you need help kind of remapping this whole thing. No, we're good. We're good. No problem here, guys. Like, if you're a fan of Lords of the Fallen and you're getting excited about the direction that they were going, then yes, I would be a little concerned. But if you're a fan of Lords of the Fallen, the first one, and you like the pacing and everything from that game, you might actually get more excited now, because it might come back more towards the original game, and that could be good for a lot of people. I heard a lot of people, I mean, when it was free, a lot of people downloaded it, you know, around me, and they were like, yeah, this game's really good and stuff. I only played it for maybe an hour and a half, and I was like, you know what? I don't know where the hell I'm going. I'm putting this shit down.
So what threw you off about the game the most then? Was the direction not that laid out, or what?
Had you all over the place, huh?
Yo, it had me all over the place. I mean, I do kind of like that freedom, but then at the end when I hit that first boss, dude, I would come in and thinking I am great. I got the strategy down, all this good stuff, and every single time he whooped my ass. So I ran away like a little bitch. I am not gonna lie. I was like, man, you are huge. You are a huge knight. You got your huge weapon. You just came out of nowhere. You can keep this church. I'm going home. Like that was it.
As far as what you played, did it seem like the story was unfolding, or was it like most other Souls games where you had to look for
You're
the story?
kind of just thrown in there. Like there was a little bit in kind of like you know, the cutscene in the beginning. There was a little bit showing what was going on. Of course, I read some of the story. Like, you know, read, you know, articles on the story to give you like a little brief summary or whatever. But you kind of just go in there and you start hacking shit. And it looks like you're going to get to points where it will unfold. You'll know why the hell you're doing this. But just because of that beginning part, like I said, that beginning, the first scene where you have like this huge flaming like creature in front of you and all sorts of craziness going on.
Right.
It looks like they'll unfold the story, but like I said, man, that night he was just too much for me after a whole bunch of wandering around, and I was like, you know what, I'll save this for later. I got it. It's marked as purchased, man. So like I'll do it. That just kind of like what Def Jam did, man.
It's a start.
I'm somewhere. Kind of like halfway there, maybe. I don't know, but you're just gonna have to wait to see what direction it goes in. I will be very surprised that if this game did have a release date, even a loose one, kind of be behind closed doors. If they cut the team, this game's probably going to take longer to develop now, though. So it's going to take longer to come out.
Yeah,
you know,
there'll definitely be a delay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking back at the article. The dude said he was doing this for almost 2 years and hadn't seen it leave the concept vision stage.
Damn.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we see that game.
Yeah.
But something that we'll be seeing soon.
19 or something.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Bing? Bam?
He said about 2019 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
2019.
Yeah. But speaking on something that's coming soon, Horizon Zero Dawn DLC may be set in Yellowstone this time, and could make you fight a gorilla bear.
What?
No, a gorilla.
I mean, Yellowstone would be really cool. Now, Yellowstone would be really freaking cool. Just to kind of like, see, Old Faithful, erupting and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But
that is
gorilla.
A statement I never want to hear from you. Old Faithful erupting. I can just imagine what other parts
you always take it in a dirty concept.
I'm just thinking about what other parts of your life you might use that phrase, man.
You're terrible. You're a terrible person.
You're terrible.
All I'm saying is gorilla bear.
Terrible.
Gorilla bear. Now, what? I mean, I guess it's a mechanic. It's basically like a bear that's mechanical, but I guess it looks like a gorilla. Which I'm like, kind of like, well, why didn't you just call it a gorilla then?
Well, yeah, they were really just based upon some other stuff that they heard. They were just kind of guessing. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some details about the makeup of whatever machine that this one's going to be, and then they kind of, from that, they guessed that it will be a gorilla. So I guess we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to the DLC. I thought the game was pretty damn good. So we'll just have to see. What goes on.
Definitely. What do the rest of you guys think about those?
You say rest of you guys?
Xbox.
The rest of you guys.
The rest of you guys.
The rest.
Ponybot.
Yo, what's up, man?
4.2.
Oh,
about Horizon Zero Dawn. This is where you turn into Ponybot 4.2.
Oh, hold on, let me transform real quick. All right, let's go.
Away.
All right. Now just to let you know, anytime they drop new content for Horizon, whether it's in Yellowstone, whether it's in the bottom of the ocean, Mount Fiji, I don't give a shit. It's gonna be good. All right, because Horizon is a great game. I have played it for a while. I have actually played it off stream. Sorry, guys. People who are my followers, please don't unsub me because of it. But I've played.
That motherfucker right now.
But the game, like, Yo, at first I didn't really get the concept, man. I was like, it's like hunting a microwave in a forest, right? Like I had no idea what was going on.
God damn.
All right. But
Oh,
the AI in this game, they will herd up on you. They will do stuff when they're
Thank
not
you.
detecting you that just seems
Yes.
natural.
And see, I
Like,
think that's one of the small things that people, they'll just talk about a game and throw it off. But I don't think people really look at that type of stuff, because they did a decent job with the AI, in the game. You know what I'm saying? Some of the machines were responsive. Some of them would flank you. I mean,
dude, you
it's
almost
just
don't
different
see them
things like
as
that.
robots anymore. Like they feel like they are a living species in the game. The game's world does feel alive. Now, maybe, the dialogue could have been a hell of a lot better. I mean, like what Moose said about the blank stare, like one eye to the other eye, and it's like, what's going on?
bother me,
my bum leg.
that kind of thing didn't bother me. Like, I know the some of the side missions were kind of like, but it didn't bother me because I've been used to that for years.
Dark, when it comes to the side missions, though, all right, you got to remember how this story came about. Like the guy was thrown away from, like he was kicked out of the tribe, right?
Right.
The baby was kicked out of the tribe. Now, with these side missions, even as mundane as they are, like go get that stick on top of the hill or whatever, like my brother Mooch said, it's just showing the desperation of being together in that world, how important it is to be in a tribe, working together, having to do stuff together, relying on each other. Now, some of the missions, they could get repetitive, but what game that has that amount of content doesn't have repetitive missions?
Thank you once again. Thank you.
3.
I even told Snaps, like, how many times are you going to do a drug run in GTA?
That's true.
No, but see, people say The Witcher 3, but even The Witcher 3,
you can't really compare.
You can't compare them, but a lot of The Witcher 3's side missions were rinse, repeat. Investigate this, go down the cave, kill the monster. Investigate this, go in the forest, kill the monster. I mean, it may have. I don't know. I guess it was just better. It was done a little bit better, but it was some of those side missions were still rinse and repeat. And like Bot was saying, in a world that's so big, you're gonna have side missions that are like that. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, you could go straight through the story. You don't even really have to go into the side missions. The side missions will give you stuff that will help you out throughout the story. You know what I'm saying? If you go and get the different armor sets that give you kind of like different attributes, different abilities and stuff. I believe they just came out with a patch today. Was it today for Horizon? They came out with an update.
I think it was, yeah.
They added a difficulty level, right?
Yeah, they did.
They added more weapons. They added more armor. They added face painting. So now you can have your character Aloy, you can have her face painted, different like war like symbology and stuff like that on her face and stuff. So this is one of the things that we don't see from Sony exclusives. They're supporting this game. It's not a standalone DLC. It's something that came free. It's more content. There's more game in this update as well. So it's good to see Sony going against the grain of what they normally do, because they'll throw some standalone DLC in there on their titles or whatever, and just to still try to make the most money out as possible. But like Horizon is a decent game. It is a good game. To a lot of people, it is a great game, and I see nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
No, not at all. Definitely. Any more thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn before we move on?
See, Bam had to say Ponybot. I transformed, man. Did I do you a service, man? Was it good? Was that good, Ponybot?
No, not at all. It was terrible. Before we move on to Life is Strange Before the Storm is a doomed romance. And basically what they're trying to say is it's like a coming of age tale this time around, where you play as Chloe, and you're basically you have no more friends because I forgot her name. She
Max,
left
I
you.
think it was Max.
Max, yeah, Max left. So now she's searching, herself and trying to figure out, what she wants to do, and she comes across, a new friend named Rachel, and it's all about the tragedy of being a youthful person and having to go through a lot of
Changes.
the changes and stuff that you go through.
Because it even referenced one in the article. It even referenced where I guess it was leading up to the point where we know if you play Life is Strange, her friend Rachel goes missing. That's a big part of Life is Strange, and I guess somebody asked her about like what was her relationship to you or something, and she didn't know whether to say, well, she was my girlfriend or she was just my good friend. It referenced something like that in the article, so it seems like it's going to deal with some of those issues. I'm looking forward to playing. I mean, it's a prequel. I'm looking forward to playing it and seeing how it led up to Life is Strange, because Life is Strange was a pretty good game. I'm gonna miss the. I don't know what. I guess they're just gonna have to make the lore deeper to get you more immersed, because having that rewind factor with Max, it really immersed you into the game. So we'll have to see what other attributes they'll add, since that one will be gone. But I am looking forward to playing this prequel.
No superpowers, man. No butterfly effect. No, seriously, the dev said. It's no.
No. So it'll be interesting to see what they're adding. What other meat they're adding, since they're taking that away.
Yeah, I definitely see this more story based this time around. Just full on story. I'm excited for it. I've been jonesing for more Life is Strange, and I'm glad they're doing this little prequel here just for a little while, and until they come out with the sequel. Because we also know that there is going to be another Life is Strange game coming soon, hopefully. Well, we don't know, because I know they're working on Vampire, like Baines likes to say it.
That Vampire looks hot, man.
It's gonna be really good. People sleeping on that game, man.
I think that game's gonna be sick, man. That game's gonna be really good.
People sleeping on that game.
And Life is Strange comes out what, this year?
Yeah, Life is Strange comes out at the end of August.
I think if you pre-order, you can get all 3 episodes, right?
You can get all 3 episodes.
Yo, Dark, you said you've been jonesing for more Life is Strange, right?
Yes.
All right, check this out. You need to go on YouTube and get into the archives of old MTV shows and look up My So-Called Life, because I believe you'll get your fix if you start watching those shows. Because I call Life is Strange My So-Called Life Simulator.
Man, I don't want to watch videos. I want to play a game. Damn it!
Either that or go put that VR on.
Oh
wow!
Oh man, you and Crap, you could be like side by side with the VR and
exactly.
the move sticks and everything.
I'll be his mini me.
He's still on his VR high. Yeah, he'll be his mini me. That VR high is serious. With him.
Well, especially, dude, there's a game coming out for the PlayStation VR. It's a zombie game. I think it's called Arizona Sunshine. Dude, that shit looks like fire. Oh my goodness. Because it's not just one thing about VR that pissed me off, like when they showed Fallout VR and stuff, it's kind of like, you're on kind of like rails. You know what I'm saying? You point to a spot and you go to that spot. This one is free moving. It's free moving first-person shooter zombie apocalypse in Arizona in the desert. Yo, if he gets that, man, he's gonna be riding that VR wave for a while, dude.
Hell yeah,
definitely. You guys have any thoughts on the Life is Strange Before the Storm prequel?
It's on track.
It's on track. It's coming out. It's probably already done, man. They're just kind of licking their chops. They're getting their cash registers ready, just because they know this is going to sell. It concerns me a little with what M. Bain said, because what Bain said, he was like, he pointed out that it's got to go deeper into the lore, and how are people really going to get immersed in this when you don't have those? I mean, I call it superpower, they call it butterfly effect, all that good stuff. But when you don't have that little hook to catch you, that hook, like how are they going to keep people in it or how are they going to attract new people to this game? You see what I'm saying? Because
which is actually good because it is a prequel, so it might actually attract some people to the game.
But see, that would attract people like me who've already played it.
Exactly.
But see, with Life is Strange, the big attraction of Life is Strange was that fact that you could rewind, right?
Right.
So what's going to make the person that hasn't played Life is Strange interested in playing this? You know?
Yeah.
So
you need every title that comes out. You need to generate more fans. All right, you need to do that. It's something. People have said that the Halo community doesn't grow from title to title, which is absolute bullshit. Because this last Halo 5, within 3 months, it was already up over 5 million sold. But people don't want to talk about that on Twitter. Anyway,
but someone's a little salty about that one.
You need to generate.
Got to throw that out there, huh?
I just threw it in, just a little spice. Anyway, but you need to generate new fans, and that's what has me concerned. Now, Snaps went in and she started playing Life is Strange. She streamed it, first time she ever played it, right? And she was getting into the story, but it wasn't until she was able to reverse time, because there's a little time before you do that first kind of reverse time there. Then that's what caught her. All right, that's what caught her. That's what she was like, man, this game's cool. I'm gonna keep going. Like, what in this new game? That's the interesting part. Right. That what in this new game is gonna catch those people to be like, damn, I want to see what's going on next. Like, I want to keep going now.
I don't know. That's kind of the big drawback with doing a prequel in this case. You know
I think if it's looking to generate new players, I don't think that's why they're making the game. I think they're making it for the people who have played Life is Strange already and are like, we want to know what happened with Chloe and Rachel. We want to know what's going through that process. And
what they're doing, they are making a game off the hype of the original. Now, it is a prequel, right? It is a prequel. Right. So it is going to touch those fans who went through the first game and stuff like that. But they want to continue that hype until the sequel. All right, they do want to do that, and the way to do that, the way to generate that hype. Now you have so many people that bought the first one, played the first one, so many people that like it. You're gonna have to get an incline. Now you're gonna have to get more for your next title coming out, and that's the interesting part. Like Bane said, like that is what is gonna grab people to play this game for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And unless maybe. I know. PlayStation gave the game away. I'm not sure if Xbox has given Life is Strange away yet.
No, I don't think so.
Now, if they
it's been on sale, pretty cheap though.
Yeah. Well, some people. I mean, just look at Cuphead. I think we're going to talk about Cuphead. I said that right now, Cuphead for me is $20. That I'm still looking to spend in other places. Like, I'm not thinking about Cuphead day one for me. All right. Okay. I got other games coming out. I got Crackdown coming out. I got Forza coming out. I got 2 Sonics coming out this year. One old school
Sonic
and one brand new one that looks mind blowing when it comes.
Yeah, I'm damn sure looking for that brand new one. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I got so many games coming out.
Oh, damn.
I'm getting I've gotten used to the way Cuphead looks because I've heard about it and I've seen it for 3 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, that's not even first on my list. And I'm going off on a rant. I don't even remember what I was first talking about.
Well, speaking of Cuphead,
he's on a Life is Strange.
Coming to PS4.
Yeah, so that's called the segue, man.
Oh, my God.
That means it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. Well, console exclusive.
I'm trying to figure out why did this story even start? Wasn't it always an Xbox exclusive? Why is this a story? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm wondering.
Why? Because of Twitter, my friend. Because of Twitter.
That didn't make sense. It's been out for I don't know how long as an Xbox. We've all known this, so I just didn't. When I saw it, I just kind of rolled my eyes and like.
Well, I think a lot of people were holding on to hope that it was going to come to PS4. Actually, I think there was a lot of people.
Everybody on the other side.
Well, you guys will get it for a limited time, but we'll get it eventually. But no, it's not going to happen. So, if you really want to play Cuphead, then I guess you're gonna have to fork some money to get it.
Dan, if you're gonna put down over $200 for a system to buy and play
a $19 game.
Yo,
Well,
I don't know what
buy
to
it.
tell you.
Well, I mean, it's going to Steam too, right?
Yeah, it'll be on PC as well.
Yeah,
so.
yep.
So I mean, if you have a PC, then get it there. You know.
Yeah, I got a
if you
PC
wanna
with
play
no
the game.
GPU, man. No GPU. Dude, I got integrated graphics. It's horrible.
You know. Speaking of getting to the times, what the hell is going on with Far Cry 5? And it only allowing one co-op player to keep their story progress. Like, come on.
Okay, so in Far Cry,
go
Far Cry
ahead.
4, was it? Could you both keep the story progress?
Right.
You both saw the same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
we're living in 2017. You can't give us a actually, it's coming out in 2018. So
yeah, that makes sense to me. I wonder what their excuse was about that.
yeah, I have no
They
idea.
should hire me for PR because I got the best excuse for them for that.
Go ahead, bot. Sell it.
See what it is, man. When it comes to Far Cry, first of all, I'm glad they got away from Primal, right? Because when it comes to the Far Cry franchise, it's about the villains, it's about the hero, it's about the characters, and really getting immersed in kind of like the gray area, of the people's minds, because the villains are crazy, but they kind of feel like they're righteous in certain ways, and some people might agree with some things that they say, and it gets really like psychological. So when it comes to that, man, they want to offer multiplayer for you and your friend to get in there, but they still want that one person that started the game to feel like they are that person. You know what I'm saying? It's that person's story, and this person who's with you, they might have a story, but that's not their story, so it's not for right now. So it's strictly for that person, and your friend is just basically your friend along for the ride, and they might want each individual to feel the story from the main character's perspective and not just being the sidekick as well. Like it motivates people to go through and start their story, I guess. I don't know. That's what I would say. And hopefully people would swallow that line.
It's like taking the red pill, right?
From what it's looking like here is that you'll be able to play the full scope of the campaign together. It's only the progress that will be halted. So like whoever is the host of the game, their progress will be saved, but your progress, if you're the the co-op player, your progress won't. Although you'll be able to see the same things that they see. I mean, everything else will be the same, except for you won't get the progress. It seems like the only.
What if you can't play with that person, and you want to play it solo, and now you got to start over again? It's
so that was
kind of
oh wow, that is such a big problem for a gamer who loves to play games. Oh, fuck, I gotta start over. Like, if you think about
it depends, man. Like, because if you have to start over and you thinking, well, I got other damn games to play, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to start over on this. Then you're just going to leave the game and go play something else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this game is coming out in February of next year, so there probably won't be as much of unless there's like probably.
Oh damn, February! That's around the same time the new God of War is coming out. I hear. It's going to be like a early March. Yeah. It's going to be an early March type thing. And when that release date gets announced, like at least on the PlayStation side, oh, damn. Like you're going to get either Far Cry or God of War.
God of War. That's a no-brainer.
Even on the Xbox side, there was they're saying Sea of Thieves is early 2018 as well. There was a couple titles, like not off the top of my head, I don't remember, but there was a couple titles for Xbox One that's also coming out early 2018. So, I mean, it could get lost in the shuffle. But when it comes down to the whole co-op thing, it's not that big of a deal to me, man. Because if they keep the saves separate, like if you do a solo, right? And it's kind of like what they do in Halo, right? You can do a solo campaign in Halo and have it saved and keep going as you go, or you can do, you know, your co-op thing. And if you do your co-op team, it saves it separately. You see what I'm saying? There was a couple Halos that did that. If they do something like that, that's not a problem. It's not a big deal. You know? Then,
right.
you know, at points in time when you're not with your friends and you kind of want to, you know, really explore the land, and you don't have to kind of adhere to what somebody else wants to do and kind of compromise on different ways of doing things. You really want to get immersed into the game, then you have your single player save file. If you want to go in with a friend, you have the multiplayer, and maybe, like, you know, with the multiplayer, you don't catch the progress, but you'll still be able to get it in a single. I just don't see it as that big of a deal, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, for
I'm
me,
sure they'll find a way to separate that.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah,
For me, it's not
Ubisoft
because-
hasn't. Go ahead.
For me, it's not because, you know, I'm more of a person that wants to, you know, play the game solo, especially when it comes to like that kind of game, because it's more of an immersive, you know, first person open world type of game that I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather run it solo than do it co-op. I'm just kind of speaking from the aspect of somebody who only plays, you know, games with co-op. You know, there are people out there that do that, and, you know, I don't know if they're gonna actually figure it out in time for those people to actually, you know, run through it with their friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, but yo, all in
Far
all,
Cry Day One By.
Yeah, of course.
I would definitely consider it for the story. I think it's absolutely awesome that they're kind of bringing it to America, to kind of like the backyard of America, the parts of America that, let's be honest, not a lot of Americans want other people to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I am so tired. Like there's no perfect country out there. Like I am happy on, you know, the structure that this country was built on with freedom and all that good stuff. But there is a lot of bad shit out there in America. And if we could get immersive stories that bring that to light and possibly get it to change, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that somebody, and you would figure it would be Ubisoft with their whole, you know, we have a multicultural development team and all. They say that before every game. I swear, they can make like a kart racing game and they'll still have that warning in the beginning of it for some strange reason. Yeah.
But did they do that in front of the crew?
Yo, we gotta check that out, man. But I'm glad that they brought it to a sensitive place here. All right, because I'm tired of pointing to other countries, exotic locales, and being like, well, there's a tyrant here and there's a tyrant there, and I'm like, dude, have you checked the news today in America? There was a tyrant in Montana. There's a tyrant over there in Washington doing this and doing that. Like, and like, I'm glad that it brings those kind of things to light on a worldwide level.
Right, exactly. You know, it's about time that we have something that is like this in this kind of scope that's set in America. You know, we had Assassin's Creed, but I don't really think that really did it justice. I think this one is really going to do something special that we haven't seen before.
Right.
And I'm excited for it. I'm definitely a day one buy for me.
Nice.
Bringing a lot of religion and a little bit of racism to this game. So,
well, that's the thing.
A lot
like,
of people
you know,
not gonna like it.
Exactly. A lot of people are going to like it. But you know what? Controversy sells, people. You know, this stuff, you know, when it comes to, you know, things like that, it's going to be, it might piss you off, but guess what? You're going to keep on playing it because you want to get to the bad guy, you know?
Exactly.
But we're going to move on from that. We're going to talk about Shadow Wars ending this time around. They say they will try to make it epic. As you guys know, if you've played Shadow of Mordor, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't played it, you probably want to tune out right now. But at the ending of Shadow of Mordor, you fight against Sauron, and it was like you could easily take him on. Like it was not even funny. Like it was so easy.
It was basically QTE based, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
wow.
QTE. It was just like, what is, it was so lackluster, that ending.
Mhm.
And then, for them to come out and say, Monolith, of course, coming out to say, hey, we're gonna make the ending of this new game more epic, more, excitement filled, and just have it be an awesome ending. It's a good thing, but we'll see what happens.
Because I mean, it's like the first one they built this sprawling world. They had you do all this stuff. Some of the story missions were real epic, and then you get down to the last fight, and you like, is that it?
Right,
It's like they got down to the end. It's like, let's just throw this in there. They'll be all right. So, if they're gonna make it a little more involved this time around, because I wouldn't say it wasn't. Well, okay, I can't use epic. It was decent. It just wasn't. You weren't involved, and so if they'll make it to where you're involved in this big epic ending for this one, that'll be much better. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The end of Shadow of Mordor, they made it seem like it was going to be epic. When we seen that first cutscene, you were like, "Oh shit!" I'm about to
go down.
Yeah, you're about to get into
some
craziness. Right. Yeah, it went downhill from there.
Oh shit! Goddamn.
Well,
I'm pretty sure the developers saw all the complaints, so I'm pretty sure this game they're gonna go above and beyond and make sure they do it right.
They got an issue. They got an issue with this, man. They got an issue with this. Now, check this out. When it comes to Lord of the Rings, we already saw the climax of the story, right? So, like in the movies, we saw all the craziness. With the Hobbit, we saw that. But even the ending to the Hobbit wasn't as blockbuster-esque as like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because that was the conclusion of the whole fucking story. All right. So they actually have a project on their hands to try to make an ending that, because let's admit, there are a lot of like Lord of the Rings fans that would pick up these games. Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be a letdown if you're thinking Lord of the Rings world, because you're automatically gonna gravitate to the ending of the trilogy. So I actually
yeah, but the game was so epic.
Yeah, and they've done a pretty decent job in separating. Yeah, they've done a pretty decent job in separating themselves from that series, even though this is supposed to be way before the events of Lord of the Rings.
It's supposed to be in between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, basically.
Right. So I think they'll be okay. I think they just had a misstep with the first one. We'll see.
Well, we also got to remember, that this was their first title, with the Lord of the Rings, franchise. So, it kind of, for it to be lackluster, we'll give them a pass that first time. But I think if it happens again, I think we're going to be like, okay, you guys need to, go back to the drawing board and make a good ending for this. And
I don't know. I with what do they call the engine that it runs? Is it called the Nemesis engine?
Yeah, I think it's called
Nemesis system. I don't know what the engine is.
Well, the system, yeah, it's kind of like the enemy AI system, kind of like building your own army. It's supposed to kind of like self-create like feuds and conflicts with villains, and it's supposed to kind of like develop a story within the game. Dude, like I think the journey is supposed to mean as much as the end in that game with that type of system in place. Yeah. Now, maybe they will go over the top for Shadow of War. I don't know. I haven't played Shadow of Mordor, and I know a lot of people like say that game is great and everything like that. I saw a lot of Assassin's Creed.
Oh man, you guys gotta play that game. I mean,
I missed it.
It's better.
A really good game.
It's definitely better.
Yeah, I heard
I kind of see where you're going by, because I kind of see where you're going with that Nemesis system, because that's kind of like what kind of got you at the end of the last one, because you're like, well, they could have implemented the nemesis system in the ending, well, having the last guy talk to you about some stuff that had been on, but that went on throughout your journey, but that didn't happen. They just kind of fell off. And I think with the new nemesis system, from what we're hearing, that type of development will happen towards the end of this game, because they're even saying that this time the system goes as deep as when you're fighting an enemy. If you start to do the same thing too many times, that enemy will adapt, and then you'll have to change up your whole fight style within that one fight, which it did not happen in the last game. So they've made a lot of tweaks apparently with this system. So hopefully that will be implemented throughout the game, including the end, which will make the end much better than the first one.
Well, plus them adding, boss battles and things like that. Because, the first one didn't really have boss battles. It had more of like,
encounters, I guess you could say.
Encounters.
Well, it had generals that you were taking over.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Now, the only other thing, like I said, I haven't played Shadow of Mordor. I did see on Twitter today. If you guys don't realize, I'm fairly active on Twitter. I just referenced it like
I know.
Maybe 20 times just this show. But I heard something about it being free for Xbox owners with gold, or play it free or something like that. Does anybody know anything about it?
Free.
Was it
play it free? Then I heard it was on sale for like $4 or $5 or something. Like
a free weekend, or
I think I saw Noof mention something about it, like you may be able to play it free, or he was asking. So maybe that's something. Maybe you're able to demo it right now or something. I don't know.
Yo, anybody in the chat, if you know what we're talking about, if there's a way to play Shadow of Mordor free right now on Xbox, hit up the chat. Let us know. Check your social media. While you're still watching the show, listening to the show, check Twitter as well. And let us know, because I really want to know if I could get my hands on it for free and get some playtime on it. I'm definitely down for that. It's almost free. It's $4.
Yeah, for $4. Come on, I'll give you the $4 just to get the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm Crossfire alumni, man. Even $4, like I'm thinking to myself,
I know you are.
How can I mooch that?
I know.
Oh, shit. And also, if you had the first game, data and all that transfer to the next one.
Well, no, it's not. They don't have that type system.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that.
Oh, no? Yeah, no.
We're going to move on from that and talk about BioShock devs announces new FPS.
BioShock
City of Brass.
Trash.
Dang. All right.
You want to know why it's trash?
Sure. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear why you think it's trash.
It's kind of like self-generating worlds, or it's
so like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say something like that. When it comes, I hate games that have kind of like there's no real structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
At least in No Man's Sky, you got to go. I guess first point, last point, right? And then everything in between is kind of like self-generated or whatever. But to have a first-person shooter have self-generated, and it's not about exploration really. It, like, I don't know, man. To me, it'll lack story that way. To me, it feels like you should be at this place doing this. All right. You might have creative ways of doing that one thing you're supposed to do. But like, to me, it feels like, well, level 2 can be, anything from one branch or 50 branches. Like, and to me, it just doesn't feel like a structure. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Baines.
In reading the article, you don't really get a feel that it does have any type of real direction or any story, and that's probably the downfall for me too. Even though it says that, it's a permadeath deal, so you start going through it, you start going through the city, you go as far as you can go. If you die, it starts over, and apparently the city is recreated. It's going to be different the next time around when you go through, and that's part of the random, whatever you call it. But anyway, I mean, the main scope of it is that it doesn't seem like it has, like Bot saying, any type of direction or story. Like when I'm reading the article, I'm thinking, okay, so what's really going on here?
Yeah.
And I don't get anything from it. So right now, as far as what I see, it's a miss for me. I'll look out for it more, when it drops. It's supposed to drop on Steam this year, actually, and then on consoles next year. So we'll see. But like Bot was saying, it just doesn't seem like it has direction right now.
Yo, Baines, I am so
that game
glad
is
you are on
definitely
the
a
show,
miss.
man. I thought I was going to be standing here by myself. Yo, as soon as people say ex-BioShock devs, like they will almost take anything that they give them. Like,
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
it could be a 2D puzzle game. It's like, oh shit! But when you think BioShock, you think story. All right,
Right.
Yeah.
And when
Exactly.
you think story, you don't think randomly generated like levels. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That to me, that's like what? Like I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to see it more before I jump in that boat, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say that, but
That's probably a good idea because
leave that shit in the alleyway.
because
He's in the alleyway.
even though
Leave it in the
it's
alleyway.
even though it is a made by the ex BioShock devs, they haven't really done anything since what, the first BioShock, or maybe what, BioShock Infinite.
Well,
did they
the
work
first
on
BioShock was the best, man, and I know
Right.
people argue with me over that, but the first one was the best.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think the first one was so good. It was so immersive. It was so, it had those horror elements and that story, the ending, like just everything about that game was fucking phenomenal.
Nice.
Infinite was okay. Well, Infinite was probably the better one of the the three when it came to going to a different place and being immersed in this sky world and stuff. But I don't think it's gonna I don't think this new games are really gonna generate a good buzz so far. I mean, it just doesn't seem like people are really talking about it. Nobody's really nobody really cares. I don't think. I think there's a lot of people just like whatever.
What is
Right.
what is this game you speak of? Never heard of it.
City of Brass, man. City of Brass. But
Exactly.
we'll
What
see.
is
Yo,
that? Exactly.
while we're at this little, like, because there was a little low point there, I just want to say, yo, guys, you should definitely shout out Y9 Power. I believe he is like the MVP
Oh yeah,
chat
he
today.
been going ham in the chat.
Yo, he's going
Shout out
nuts.
to Y9.
Huge.
Yeah, he been cutting up.
Mm-hmm.
He's leaving people bleeding in the
Shout out to
streets.
you, Power. Goddamn. Advice and everything.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get on to 4A games. Just talked about Metro Exodus, and this game almost didn't even happen because it was almost impossible. They almost felt like it was impossible for them to make this game, which we all saw at E3. The little trailer. Damn, this game looks great. Oh my god, I can't wait for this game because I played Metro 2033 and I played Metro Last Light. I went into them and played them again because I hadn't played them for a long time now. But man, those games are great, and then to see that they're coming out with this game is just like, oh my god, dude. And I'm so glad that they actually decided to make this game and make it for the new gen of consoles, which is just awesome, and hopefully we'll see it in 2018. If not, we'll definitely probably see it in 2019.
Well, I think it's supposed to come in 2018. I think it's a smaller dev team is why they was trying to keep it on the low for so long,
right?
Because they didn't know if they were going to be able to make it. But
that's because 4A Games is a pretty small dev team.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
But before the trailer, I had not played the other two. And I had them on my backlog. I had all intentions of playing them. I was putting it off.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the trailer, I'm like, no, I got to play them now. You know what I'm saying? So that the trailer had me that excited to go back and play the other one so I can be ready for that game. And so I'm glad the game is coming about. I believe it was supposed to come out in 2018. I think I saw that somewhere. Not sure, but
It did. Yeah, this is 2018.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'll be glad.
if it's on, if
I'll
it's
be glad
on
when it
Microsoft,
drops.
yo, Baines, just to let you know, this is the deal. If it's on Microsoft stage at E3, it's planned to come out within like that E3 to next E3.
Right, because they don't like the show stuff that's 2 or 3
Yeah.
years out. Yeah, so
Right.
so
Yeah,
we should be
exactly.
seeing this game next year. So I'm hyper excited for it, especially now that I finished the other two. Yeah.
Oh, so
Definitely.
oh man, see, I didn't finish the second one, dude.
Yeah.
I absolutely fell in love with Metro 2033.
Mhm.
Absolutely fell in love with it, man. The story, so many layers of stuff. Like, you have everybody's living in the subway system in Russia after a nuclear apocalypse. Then you have the factions over in Europe. So all of a sudden, the Nazis rise to power in a certain part of the subway. Communist Russians rise to power in the other part of the subway. And then you have a group trying to do more of a democratic thing and stuff like that. And they're all feuding with each other underground. But then not only that, because you had a nuclear fallout, you have mutated monsters in the tunnels, up on top of up on on the land. You have a supernatural element with ghost trains and different specters. You have kind of like an alien type. Dude, there is so much.
Yeah, it is, man. They did a really good job of layering that game.
So much stuff in that.
And then
you got to finish Last Light, though, bro.
Please
you
finish the second one.
I'm planning on. We have it. And I want to go in. What I want to do is I'm thinking about doing a stream series. I absolutely love streaming. I love having people with me while I'm going through single players and stuff like that. I want to go through the first one again.
I know every time on Twitter I get a notification. Bot streaming. Bot streaming. Bot streaming. I'm just like, like, do you ever break from streaming? Like, you just
people tell me I should schedule it, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm random. If I get a chance, for people who know me, family. We have 3 kids that live with us, 4 altogether. Snaps works a crazy
and 6 on the way.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, but Snaps works a crazy schedule and stuff like that. So I'll stream when I get a chance, and I love doing it. I love having people there when I experience things for the first time. I love being there when people don't know about a game, and I get to show it to them for the first time. And I want to go back and do the first one again, and then with that, go into the second one. And then once I get to the point where I stopped, it's like a mix of both. It's like a mix of I'm showing people stuff that, a game that they haven't seen or really gotten into. And then in the middle of that stream series, it goes to we're experiencing this now together for the first time. So that's what I've been planning on doing. Yo, if anybody out there has slept this franchise,
please pick it up.
Dirt cheap now, and they are so good.
Yeah, I mean they're on sale until the 10th. From what, for $7.99 or something like that, or
for both, right?
Yeah, for both of them. So I mean, you guys, that's at least 20 hours of gameplay there, because I mean at least I think each one is 10 hours, somewhere around
about
there.
10 hours, yeah,
depending on the difficulty that you play it on. But yeah, I mean these games are. Oh my gosh! And especially if you've seen the trailer at E3 and you're interested and you're like, man, I want to play that. You definitely need to go back and play the first 2, because you're definitely not going to know what the hell is going on if you play the next one, because they kind of they kind of leave off right where they they kind of start where they left off, basically.
But what you were saying about the game possibly not coming out, my bad, Bam, I'll give you the mic. This is the sign of a good development team, possibly a development team of actual gamers, because when they first came up with the concept, it was impossible with the hardware that they saw and everything like that. But did they give up on it? No, they didn't. I believe what you said they did is they, a smaller team, just kind of went off to the side, made it a side project, and they were just kind of working on it and kind of hoping for the best. They didn't let go of the idea. To me, that development team right there, at their heart, they're gamers. They came up with something. They want to see it through, and they want to make it better. They don't just want to come out with a watered down sequel. No, they want to go over the top even more. And I feel that if a lot of people get these previous two titles, which is Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, if you get these two previous titles and you get immersed in this story, that Metro E3 presentation, dude, blew my mind. There's two games out of E3 I thought were absolutely phenomenal. And you know what? Anthem didn't make my top 2 on this. And I'm not sure if you guys know my second one. The first one was Metro. My second one
Spider-Man.
Nope. Nope. The second one was a game called Hunt Showdown.
Okay.
I didn't see that one.
Oh,
what was that on?
We talked about that. We talked about that.
Was on that?
Yeah, Hunt Showdown. It wasn't on stage for some.
Yeah, it went on stage. It was.
Oh,
you
okay.
Had to, you had to just look. I think I caught it like on some YouTube. There were some games that maybe some YouTube clips where they showed games that weren't.
I have no idea why that
have shows.
Stage, man.
Have stage presence. But we talked about that. Remember that was I think it's in Crytek involved in that in some type of way.
Oh yeah.
You remember that game?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We talked about that. It's that same. It's that same game.
That game looks phenomenal, man.
It looks cool. Now, well, speaking of what Bob was saying, his top 2 games of E3. What are your guys? I want to hear what you guys, Bam and Baines. What you guys? Or your guys?
Metro definitely, and Anthem. I'm on that. I need to see more of that.
What was your
trailer?
one?
Was great that they showed off, but I want to see how far they can go with this new IP. Where they're going to take it.
Okay, so Anthem
somebody cut. Somebody cut. Metro.
The first one. You said Anthem and what?
Metro.
Oh, okay. Metro. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Definitely. Baines, what was yours, man?
I don't know. I know Metro is one of them. I kind of like the show in a Spider-Man. But I'm interested in a lot of those indies that were shown too.
You love those QTEs, don't you?
Well, no, I mean,
the
developer came out and said that it's not.
No, I know.
Baines, let's go in on him now. Let's do it.
But
hey, by the way, Forza's in each title.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you're gonna talk. If you're gonna throw that E3 thing in there, it's funny, man. You got to make like a top 5 because
you really do.
You really do.
Because a lot of those indies interested me too.
But for me, I think the first my top
Ash
2
is gonna be beast.
My top 2 would have to be definitely Metro
and Jurassic Park.
No, Jurassic Park. I'd have to say Beyond Good.
Yes, without the oops.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. My God, dude! Finally, we get this game.
Dude, how are you excited for that when it wasn't even like a gameplay, man? It was just
I know, but I'm excited for it, man. I don't. It was Metro. Metro wasn't that was cinematic game. That was cinematic.
Metro, no, that was in.
Yeah,
Metro was in game.
Yeah, that was
game.
That was in game, and
that was not.
You was drinking when you was watching the E3.
That was
with Beyond Good and Evil.
I was playing Last Guardian, by the way.
Yo, why not? Why don't you tell Dark, man, that Metro that they showed on Microsoft's E3 stage, that was in game. Let him know, man.
Yeah, that was definitely in game.
Well, maybe I've been drinking too much of that Last Guardian Kool-Aid.
He said Last Guardian.
Oh boy, that's trash. Throw that shit out the window. Get it out of here.
I'm still sending that to you, Bam. Still sending it to you, man. We'll be like, here you go, bro.
I'm gonna send that shit back.
Man, like, yo, the game,
that shit is off track.
Yo, the
off
game
track
that we saw at E3. I mean, you could go Spider-Man. Anthem looked great. Metro, dude. I got Forza looks amazing. Oh my God. Holy crap! Like, how real are you gonna get in a racing game? Like, that was incredible. Yo, the funny thing was, and I'm not sure how you guys feel about drama. Like, I watched Digital Foundry's analysis of Forza 7 for E3, and then I watched their analysis of Gran Turismo. And can you believe Digital Foundry still had the nerve to say on Gran Turismo, "Oh, when it comes to car models, Gran Turismo is still leading the pack." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" What
that's the thing. It's always because it's Gran Turismo, man. That's the reason. People are like, "Oh, it's Gran Turismo. We haven't seen one since like freaking 1995." It's like, no, we saw one after that. Later on, but I mean, it wasn't any good. There hasn't been anything really good that came from the Gran Turismo series.
So I started my whole racing thing around Gran Turismo on PlayStation. Like my whole thing, I had that old school Eclipse. I was wrecking it in the game, man. I absolutely love that game. To see where Gran Turismo has gone from then to now brings a tear to my eye. All right. And people, they look at my name, they say Xbot, they're like, "Oh man, of course you're gonna pick Forza." Do you understand that it actually hurts me to see where Gran Turismo is right now? Like, I would love, I have a PS4, Snaps has a PS4, oldest son has a PS4. Like, I would love to be able to get excited for a Gran Turismo, but they have dropped so far down the ladder. I am so happy that Turn 10 came around when they did, because if Gran Turismo was still like that simulation racer, like that bar would be so low now in comparison to what Turn 10 is doing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, everything that they're doing over there at Turn 10 is just they push out gold, man. They fucking shit that fucking thing out, and it just every year, we get a new Forza, and it's always better than the last one, and I understand, people are saying, well, they only had 2 years to make, Forza 7. Yeah, but they're adding a lot of mechanics to it that they didn't have in 6, and they're doing a lot of things that they didn't do with 6. It's gonna be an absolute blast to play that game, especially if you have a 4K TV and you're getting the X. You're definitely gonna want to pick that game up because it's just gonna be awesome, man.
700 cars, like the tracks, I believe it was like something like 30 tracks, like all of them. Like, they do research on tire burn when it comes to races, and weight shifting on each of the cars. So that's weight shift on 700 vehicles.
Yeah.
Right? To make sure that they have the simulation down pat. There is no other company out there that can even say they come close to doing the same type of research that Turn 10 does to make a video game.
Yeah. And that's
Turn
the thing.
10 is the king of that.
Exactly.
King.
Exactly. I mean, they've been the king since they started, and there was no Gran Turismo at that point. But now, since there is, and it's a sport, it's kind of like for Horizon type, they're like touting it as it being, this amazing racer, and it's like, dude, it's not going to be. I guarantee that.
You know what sport is? It's not just like a subclass Gran Turismo title. Did you know that Gran Turismo Sport is a reboot of the franchise? Like, this is the way they want to go for future iterations of Gran Turismo. Like,
why? Why are they doing that?
I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to go off track, man. But
no, it's all good. It's all good. We're about to do outros right now, anyways. But you guys got any other thoughts on anything else?
Hey,
what up,
Turismo was so great. It was at E3. Y'all seen it, right?
It was right by the exit to the back door. Like, they had the little booth right there.
Sean Layden came out with
How do you not show up to E3 without your racer?
He came out with an even tighter suit and said, "Check this out," and then licked his fingers and then walked off stage.
Oh, hold on. We gotta give Mr. L. We should just call him Mr. L now on, man. Yo, stop calling K Mega L Mega. We got to give the L to Layden over there. At least he was not wearing the toddler size 3 T-shirt anymore.
YT3.
He upgraded to a suit.
Dude, I felt like a proud parent. Like, he grew up. Like it just he grew up there. It's like, man.
I mean, we're kidding around.
Go take your girl out for some soda pop or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny. But
finish eating the sandwich in the back. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go on stage." Get my coke.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, "Really, dude? Come on, man." All right, well, enough on that. We're about to get up out of here. So, Bam, where can we find you, buddy? Bam,
And
find you.
he's
Trying to get it down.
It was like
turn down that soundbar,
lag.
You need to turn it down, bro.
There's a lag out this piece. Find me on Twitter. Find me on Xbox. Def Jam Bam. You already know.
King Soundbar.
Hey, when I hop in a absolutely. When I hop in a party, make sure it's 2 spots. One for me, one for the soundbar.
nice.
Well, I think you need
next
3
time
spots because you need Nephew in there too. Because Nephew has to come along.
Goddamn. Yeah, that is true.
He's like the tricycle, he comes along,
Oh yeah. He'll have his soundbar on too. So we got to keep it in the family.
Definitely.
And Dark and Veins, thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate you coming through, man.
Absolutely, no problem. Until next time.
And Xbot, Ponybot 448. Where can we find you, bro?
But where you can find me pretty
4.
much
2.
everywhere. Yeah, I keep it simple, man. Everything is Xbot 448. I do ask that anybody who hasn't checked out my YouTube channel, definitely check out my YouTube channel. If you like the content, subscribe. I'm not just going to say, hey, guys, just subscribe to my channel. If you like the content, subscribe. I do have a goal that, by the end of the year, I want to try to get to about 3,500 subs. And the community has been absolutely amazing and has supported my channel for such a long time. I actually have over 2,600 subs right now. So it looks like a goal that's doable. And I know with the community's help, I can definitely achieve that. But as far as anything else goes, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, as you know, I am active on Twitter. It's at Xbot448. I do a couple podcasts. Some of them you might have heard of. On my channel, it's the next podcast, which is Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. On Sunday,
never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Dude, you should check it out. We actually have gameplay for the gamers while we're talking about
nobody ever watches that.
No, dude, the gameplay is fire.
God damn.
Yeah, he doesn't watch it because, man, he always feels bad. He's like, damn, I wish I could play like that.
The reason why is because I'm so mad at you for the fact that you gave me on there when Don's like never there. It's always when he's not there. You're like, hey bro, can you come on, bro?
Hey, I can't get on at all.
I don't want to give him back to Chinchilla, but I have to, and it sucks.
You guys are putting me on the spot, so I'm just gonna ask you this, guys, right now. Baines,
what's up, man?
Do you want to be on this Saturday?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see no problem with it. Right.
See,
now.
I was going to ask you guys behind the scenes, but you're going to try to blow up my spot. I'm going to do it live right now.
Hey, it's better live.
Do it live.
Do it live. But what's up, Baines?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was actually going to say something to you guys, off air. K Mega decided he was going to take a vacation for some reason. I don't know. He's the diva of podcasting, so he needed his 2 weeks reprieve and whatnot. But dude, you guys were the first people I thought of, and I was going to talk to you. So if you guys can make it, you are more than welcome to be on the show this Saturday. If you want to give gameplay, man, you just go to Upload Studio and edit like 10 minutes of gameplay or so, and I'll put it into the gameplay. But other than that, man, you can catch me on Sundays on BGST. I don't know if you guys might have heard about that podcast, Big Gamer Small Talk.
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
No, dude, you better ask somebody.
God damn. You cutting up, Dark.
But yeah,
get him out of here.
Yeah, my brother Next Gen, of course, Tim Dog, Crap Gamer, K Mega, Showstopper. Have a lot of fun doing that show. Every Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, I am on Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles, which
now
is
I know that one. I know that podcast.
What YouTube channel?
One of my favorites, by the way.
What YouTube channel is that on?
That is on Oh Snap, It's Mel.
Okay, say it one more time, a little louder.
Oh Snap, It's Mel.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. Oh snap, it's Mel.
Go.
And yo, guys, again, thank you for having me on. You caught me in rare form, man. I have a bunch of energy. I just started feeling better. The kids tried to poison me. I got a stomach bug.
I heard that. I was like, the kids trying to poison him. Oh no,
dude! I was like bedridden for like 3 days, and you guys caught me at a point where I got all that rest from being sick, and I'm finally feeling better. And guys, thank you again for having me on.
Definitely,
no problem. Thanks for coming by.
Baines, where can we find you? We know we can't find you anywhere, but
and Baines 99, PlayStation, and Xbox, and we enjoyed it, man.
Definitely. And I was your host for the evening, Dark Optimus. You can find me on Twitter at the same name. You can also find me on Xbox. And we are out, people. Have a good night.
Seagulls is out too.
Peace.